about the pseudo class and pseudo element. Okay, so this is also like a styling purpose only. Better we can create a separate. So what is pseudo class and pseudo element is? Okay, so this is like a small animation model only. Okay, so here you can able to see we are creating a label and name. In input file also we can type a placeholder. See, here I am creating a class and making a, we can use a pseudo class. Okay. So inside this class only we having an input field. Okay, so like this also you can able to call, or else here also you can create an ID. You can directly call the ID name also it will go. Okay, so what is the meaning of pseudo comments? So pseudo class means here if I click, you can able to see in some other website. If you have clicked the input field, some border line it will come. Okay. So some border line it will come. So that is called a, in a pseudo class we have a two types. So one is focus and another one is hover effect. Okay, so the focus means, so mostly the focus it will using for the input field only. So if you have clicked the input field, some border line it will come. So for user reference only, we are giving the pseudocode post field. Okay, so if you are clicking the input field as a name, if the border is coming as a blue color, means the user can able to easily understand that they are typing the naming field. Okay, so for that reference only, we can able to use the focus there. So for focus, you have to call the colon. After the colon, you have to type the focus in. Okay. And then just call the border. Border all you having the many types of borders also. For now, you can just learn what is focus and what is hover. And here we can use a solid blue. Here we can make it 4 pixels. Now see. So if I click, something is happening. Okay, so if you are making a more than 15 input field, if the user is trying to submit a name in pyramids, if they click the particular input, some borderline it will come. So it's like a focusing effect. Okay, so this also is a Sudoku only. Same like a hover. Hover means after the input field, okay, here you will be giving at the end of the input field, definitely you have to give a button, right? And here we can make a submit. See, directly you can call the button also it will come, or else here also you can create an ID or class. Okay, or you can call the parent class. Inside a parent class also you can call the button. Directly you can call the tag name also it will come. Okay, so here we are creating a class name. Inside a class name, just call the over effect. Background color. First we can make a default color. Okay. Now see. button, your button color is in green color. If you have clicked the button, okay, without clicking the button, if your mouse is moving to the particular element itself, the second color it will appearing immediately. So that is called the hover effect. Hover effect means if your mouse is moving to the particular element itself, that style will appearing immediately. Okay, so that is called a hover effect. Focus effect means if you have clicked element one, you can able to see the style. Okay, mostly the focus effect we are using for the input field one. So for the hover effect, you can see in some other website also. If, in a button itself, if you click the button, some shadow will come. Okay, and then the text color it will change. So like that purpose, or in that case, you have to call the hover effect here. Okay, so you have to call the class name or ID name. After the class name or ID name, you have to use the colon here. After the colon, you can call the over or focus. Okay, so this is the one way. Okay. So by using the HTML itself, see here, here itself I'm creating another div and making a paragraph. Okay. Here itself you can call the first slide. Time to see. So this is also a Sudoku class only. Okay, so in case you're having more than 4 or 5 paragraph tags, okay, but we having the two options only. You can change the first child or you can change the last child. Okay, so just using, see, if you are using single colon, it's said to be a pseudo class only. If you are using a double colon, it's said to be a pseudo element. Okay, so in a pseudo class, we are having the four things. The one is focus. Focus means we have to use a border. Okay, if I click the element only, the style will appear in thing. So that is called a focus thing. Hover effect means if your mouse is moving to the particular element itself, the second style it will appearing immediately. So that is called a hover effect. Okay. And then we are having two things as the first child and last child. First and last child means we are having a more than same tag name. Okay, for example, here we are having the H1 tag, 5 H1 tag, and the first H1 tag and the last H1 tag, you want to change the some style means you can able to call the pseudo class here by using a colon. You can just call the first class. Okay. Or you can create a here also you can create an ID to change the color also it will work. Without creating an ID for each tag, you want to call the parent tag and inside a parent tag you want to make a first paragraph style. Means we are having an option as a first child and last child here. Okay, same thing for a last child also. Just use a colon, make a last child. Okay. Okay. So this is a pseudo class. When it's come to pseudo element, local element is nothing but by using a CSS, here we are adding the content, right? So without an HTML, you want to add some other text message in between the word and after the word means in that case you can call the pseudo element name. Okay. So then pseudo element is called the same class name and inside this class name you are having a H1 tag. So you have to call the H1 tag and here We can make a background color, not a background color. We have to add the content, right? In here, you have to use the two columns. Before, yeah, see, you can able to see. Okay, without an HTML, you want to add some particular text content. And let's see why we are using a pseudo for element means you are using the same content name in a real-time project all in all the in all in HTML, you're going to pass the same text message. So, for example, you can take the company website logos or some text regarding to the company thing means in case if the company asking to add some other content in between the text or after the text means, so going to the HTML page and searching the tag, and if you're using the same tag in many HTML pages, in all the HTML you have to call the add the each data between a front text and back text. Okay, so in that case, you can just call the element here. Okay, so the core element means inside a style itself. Okay, in all the HTML, in which page you're creating an HTML, in all the HTML, you're going to add the same content only. Okay, and you're going to pass the same style only by using the same class name. So instead of changing an each tag, okay, just call the class name here, and inside here just call the pseudo for element by using the two colon before it will add the before text. Okay, and then same thing if you are calling here and here if you are using an after means it will add the end of the page. Here you can see. For example. Okay, so in case you're calling this H1 tag and you're calling this text message in many HTML pages, in all the HTML page, this content will add it immediately. Okay, so in that case, all you can able to call the pseudo element. So you can able to understand what is difference between pseudo class and pseudo element. What is the difference between focus and hover effect?
Hover is for buttons. When we hover over the button, like we will have the effect, and focus is for input types.
Okay. Okay, right. Any doubt? Others?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So who's not completed your HTML project? You have to complete your date is Monday, right? So you have to complete your HTML project. On Monday, we can see it is not very simple style only. So we have to see the real thing like a margin padding and what are the borders. Here we are using a border, right? So in a border itself, we are having a many types. What is borders and what are the colors? Here we are just calling a color and we are making a color naming here. But here also we are having the different types of color, different way of calling a colors. Okay. So that and all we can see it on Monday. So before moving to the topics, you have to complete your HTML projects. Okay, any doubt?
Okay, ma'am.
What about others? Have you all listened in the class?
Yeah, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, guys.
Yes, ma'am.
Then you can. Any doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your doubt? Okay, guys, then we can wind up. Thank you, guys.